Welcome back to Money Talks. It's no longer a dream. Those were the words of Delgado Community College Athletic Director and head baseball coach Joe Scheuermann when the Tom and Gayle Benson Foundation announced the Tradition campaign. The funds, $1 million, will be used to help construct a brand new athletic training and educational facility at Delgado's main campus, right next door to the Rudy Stadium, which is home field for the Delgado Dolphins baseball team. I'm deeply honored to have on the show Delgado's athletic director and Dolphins baseball coach, Mr. Joe Scheuermann. Welcome.
Thanks, Ed. Great to be here.
It's good to see you. It gives me great pleasure. I work on that board, and I tell you, we are just so ecstatic because I know you've been waiting a long time for this to happen. But before that, just kind of tell our audience a little bit about how long you've been at Delgado.
Yeah, so 30 years, Ed. I basically grew up on campus. You know, my father was the first athletic director and first baseball coach there. So I grew up in his shadow and became a student athlete in 1980. I graduated from Redemptress and went on and played at Delgado from 81 to 82. And then got my degree and went to Tulane. And I tell everybody, I'm a prime example of what Delgado education does for you, because if somebody would have told me I was going to be a Tulane graduate when I left Redemptress High School, I would have said maybe we need to check you into a psychiatric ward. But it gave me a reason to go to school, and I tell you, I couldn't be more happy for what it's done for me.
And you were prepared, so when you got to Tulane from Delgado, it was
no doubt. And people, I think, just don't realize, you know, the generation we grew up with, Delgado was always a trade school, Ed, and the fact that our classes are transferable to almost any school in the country, much less every school in the state. It works. It's education. It works.
That's right. We want people to know that. Hopefully they'll see this program and they'll come on by, because we got so many testimonials like that. Well, let's talk about the new facility. Well, let's talk about the old facility that's been there for a long time, and maybe people don't really know what that facility looks like or is.
Yeah, so we're basically been housed in what's a safe house, really, to be quite honest with you, on the oil rigs, a shipping container, for lack of better description. Houses 40 people. We have central heating and air, but that's about it, Ed. It was a God gift to us 20 years ago when a marine supply company donated it to us, but it's time to move on. And since the first day I got the job 30 years ago, I said, we need an athletic complex. And we've been working at it, and through the generosity of the Tom and Gayle Benson Foundation, we're finally going to get it.
And, you know, they're fantastic. She's taken that, the mantle and moving on with it. She's a wonderful lady. She does so much good. And when we were, got word about this, was like, this is the best thing that's happened for our.
I have to give our chance to Dr. Staub a lot of credit.
She's super.
She's put together a great team. Mr. Alden McDonald at Liberty Bank, and Tim Bayfield at CSRS, which is the consultant, and Mr. Ray Banning, who was the architect behind the project, has really. She's got them rallied together. And she's one heck of a head coach.
Yes, we're glad to have her. She really is the head coach. We're glad to have Chancellor Stive back. She was in Baton Rouge, and now she's back, and she's on the main campus here and doing a great job. Tell us about the new facility, because it's not only a sports facility, but it's also educational. Talk to us about
something that we felt was very important, and we wanted to get an academic center involved in it. So the second floor is going to house our academic counseling center. It'll house our study hall. It'll house our computer center, which, instead of having the players run to different sites of the campus, where it may be an English department or a math department or a science department, we'll house all the computer data right there in our academic center, and we'll use it as a study hall as well as a learning center. So the students will have somewhere to go in between classes. As you know, we're a community campus. We don't have dormitories, so the days become long sometimes. So if a young man or a young lady has an 8 o'clock class and doesn't have another class till 11, it'll give them a place to rally and maybe be able to go do their homework or some additional study before that next class. So something we're very excited about.
What were the kids, young people rather, like when you told them the news?
Well, I think it's something we've never had. We've
Right.
never had a general rallying point on our campus, to be quite honest with you. Our gymnasium is that for our basketball, men's and women's basketball program, but it still doesn't unite the baseball program with the basketball program with the women's basketball program. Now everybody will be under one roof. We'll all get to know one another a little better, and I think it'll be a little more family oriented.
That's great. And of course, your team is doing well. This is March.
Yeah, so we're off to a great start. We're 8-3, and we got a long way to go yet. It's a 56 game schedule, but we're very excited. We're very young. Yeah, we have a very unique club this year. 27 first year players,
Wow.
which happens a lot at the junior college level, but not ever at that point. We start one young man that played every day for us last year. Yeah. So very new club. We're starting to grow up a little bit. Like I told the kids in the fall, one advantage I do have is in the fall you can play fall games that don't count.
Yeah.
So let's get the mistakes out in the fall, so now that the spring is here and they count, we can have a little more experience, I guess.
The day that this donation came about, it was kind of rainy and stuff, and our foundation board chair, Lee Giorgio, said it must be Tom Benson and your dad, Mr. Scheuermann, looking down with tears of joy.
No doubt.
What do you think your dad would say?
Oh, I think he's probably ecstatic. I get teary-eyed every time I think about what can happen here. It's something that we dreamed of as a family, and Ms. Benson has made this happen. But it's also, I think, something very important to point out. It's a tradition campaign. We're still going to need some additional money.
That's what I want to talk about.
So we want to make sure to reach out to our former players, both in men's and women's basketball as well as baseball. Come on board, guys. I know you guys have been waiting a long time, but we need some more help.
And also other corporations and foundations. How do they do that? How do they get in touch?
Get in touch with us through DelgadoAthletics.com or give me a yell at jscheu@dcc.edu, which is my email address. And hey, I'll open.
That's right.
I'll give you a big hug and wait for you with open arms.
And believe me, he does always get with you. That's what I like about community campuses. We respond very, very quickly. So thank you for being here.
Well, hey, I want to thank you for being part of our board. I know you've been on there for quite a many years, and we appreciate everything that Lee Giorgio and you guys do over there as well.
We appreciate it. And speaking of the foundation, I do have some other news too, and that's our annual Roast of the Town is coming up. And that's going to be April 17th, and this is where we do scholarships and additional funds to help students in need. And that's going to be at the Harris Theater. Of course, you have to be 21, the age to participate. But it's a roast, and this year we're roasting Mr. Clancy Dubose, so we should have a really good time.
Everybody likes to pick Clancy,
and,
so
and then Eric Paulson he's our MC, so we're gonna have a super time. So we hope people will come out, and if they want more information on the roast, of course they can always go to our foundation page at Delgado, or you can go to our the DCC information, and they can get the information they need to come out. They'll be we're gonna do just the whole thing. Wonderful food too, which is everything's being donated. So all the money goes to the student fundraiser that we do each year. So we hope that people will show up.
Ed, thanks again for having me.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for being here, rather. And we look forward to the successful team this year. I know it's going to work out.
Thank you so much, Ed.
Okay.